When your mind is screaming at you to stop, when every muscle in your body is begging for relief, you have actually only used 40% of what you are truly capable of. This is not just a motivational quote, it is a hard biological fact. Today, we are going to unpack the neuroscience behind David Goggins' famous 40% rule, exploring why your brain deliberately lies to you and how you can systematically override this ancient survival mechanism to unlock your true, untapped potential. To understand why your brain lies to you, we must travel back thousands of years. Your brain did not evolve to make you highly successful, wealthy, or physically elite. It evolved to keep you alive. Inside your temporal lobes lies the amygdala, a hypervigilant threat detection system. To this ancient part of your brain, extreme effort and discomfort look like an impending threat to survival. When you push yourself, it sounds the alarm, begging you to retreat to safety. In sports science, this phenomenon is explained by the central governor theory. Coined by Professor Tim Noakes, this theory suggests that fatigue is not a physical event, but a psychological emotion. Your brain acts as a governor, limiting your physical performance long before your muscles actually experience failure. It creates the sensation of exhaustion as a safety margin, leaving a massive 60% reservoir of energy completely untouched. The core issue is that your brain cannot distinguish between actual physical danger and temporary physical discomfort. Lactic acid buildup, heavy breathing, and elevated heart rates are interpreted by your survival brain as a slow death. It tries to save you from yourself by sending intense signals of pain and fatigue. But discomfort is not danger. It is simply the price of admission for growth and transformation. When you hit the 40% wall, your brain also experiences a drop in dopamine, the molecule of motivation and anticipation. When effort increases and immediate reward decreases, your brain shuts down the desire to continue. It whispers excuses, telling you that you have done enough, that tomorrow is another day, and that your current effort is completely pointless. Recognizing this chemical shift is your first step to bypassing it. This is where we introduce David Goggins' concept of the cookie jar. The cookie jar is a mental filing cabinet where you store all your past victories, hard times you overcame, and obstacles you demolished. When your brain tells you to quit, you mentally reach into this jar. Reminding yourself of your past resilience acts as an instant chemical boost, proving to your survival brain that you have survived hard things before and you will survive this too. To override the governor, you must master cognitive reframing. Instead of viewing physical distress as a signal to stop, you must reframe it as a signal that the real training has finally begun. When the pain hits, you tell yourself, "This is the exact moment where my mind expands." By changing the meaning of the signal, you strip the amygdala of its power to control your actions. You cannot break the 40% rule overnight. Just like building physical muscle, you must progressively overload your mental capacity. If your brain tells you to stop running at mile 2, you push to mile 2.1. By consistently demanding just a fraction more than your brain wants to give, you slowly recalibrate the central governor, pushing your default survival threshold higher and higher. When the mind begins to complain, do not try to ignore it. Instead, engage in active, calm dialogue. Use third-person self-talk, which neuroscientists have proven reduces stress and emotional reactivity. Address your fear objectively. Tell yourself, "I see that you are tired, but we are capable of moving forward." This cognitive distance calms the emotional brain and keeps the logical brain in control. In neuroscience, Learning and growth happen during states of high friction. When you feel that intense mental resistance, your brain is releasing acetylcholine and norepinephrine, marking those neural pathways for change. If you quit during this friction, you reinforce the old neural pathways of retreat. But if you push through, you physically rewire your brain to become more resilient to future stress. The ultimate goal is to shift neural control from the emotional amygdala to the logical prefrontal cortex. The prefrontal cortex is the seat of your willpower, long-term planning, and conscious decision-making. When you consciously choose to take one more step despite the fear, you are training your prefrontal cortex to dominate your primal impulses. You become the active pilot of your life, not a passenger to your fears. When facing a massive, exhausting task, your brain panics looking at the giant mountain ahead. To bypass this, employ the strategy of micro-goals. Do not think about the next 10 miles. Focus entirely on the next mailbox. Do not think about the next 3 hours of work. Focus entirely on the next 10 minutes. By shrinking the horizon, you prevent the amygdala from triggering the survival alarm. Physical training is ultimately mental training. Every time you override the 40% rule in the gym, on a run, or during a difficult project, you are building generalized emotional resilience. The capacity to sit with discomfort and not react emotionally translates directly into how you handle life's biggest crises, relationship struggles, and professional setbacks with absolute calm. When you finally push past that initial 40% barrier, something magical happens. The screaming voice in your head suddenly goes quiet. A deep, profound wave of energy and clarity washes over you. You enter the flow state, where effort feels effortless, and you realize that the limits you believed in were entirely self-imposed illusions created by an overprotective mind. You are the master of your mind, not its servant. The next time your brain tells you that you are completely finished, smile at the illusion. Acknowledge the protection. Thank your ancient brain for trying to keep you safe, and then calmly step forward into the remaining 60% of your potential. Stop settling for less, override the governor, and discover who you truly are.